Okay.
All right, so our goal today is to come up with strategies, pretty easy, straightforward strategies for graphing the two lines, shading correctly, and identifying the overlapped parts, right? So step one is to make sure the inequalities are in slope-intercept form. If they're not in slope-intercept form, you need to rearrange and put them into slope-intercept form. Right? Our y equals mx plus b. Of course, we don't have equals, but y inequality symbol. Okay, so let's look at A here. Are they in slope-intercept form? Yes. Sure are. Okay, step two. Graph and shade. So we'll start out with red. Everybody grab your red pencil. Do you guys have your rulers too? Need your rulers. Yeah. If not, you just need something you can make a straight edge with. Okay. Okay, let's refresh our memories. What kind of line do I have if it's just greater or less?
Dotted.
Dashed, right? Dotted, dashed. And then if it's equal to, it is? Solid. Okay. So my y-intercept for this first one is -4. My point. And my slope is 2/1. I'm going to go up 2/1. Oops. Went over 2. That's not good. Up 2/1. And then when I connect those, I'm going to use a dashed line. And then if you remember when we were just graphing inequalities, we used the origin to decide if we shade towards or away from 0, 0. So we're going to put 0 in for y and 0 in for x. So when I do that, I end up with 0 less than -4, right? Because 2 times 0 is 0. So is 0 less than -4? Nope. So I'm going to shade away from that with my red pencil. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up my blue pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and graph the next inequality. So my y-intercept, yep, is +2, and I go up 1/2. Solid or dashed line? Solid line, good. So I'm going to test out that 0, 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to 2? Nope. So I'm going to shade away from 0. So this time I'm going to be shading up. And then once I figure out which parts are overlapping, I go over them darker with the pencils again, and I get purple. Okay, you do you, man. Okay, so your solutions, notice we have multiple solutions because these are inequalities after all, are any ordered pairs in the double shaded area. We'll actually say purple. So we've got this corner. So right away I can walk around and I can know exactly if you did it correctly or not, because I can look for that top corner to be shaded. Go ahead. This is the first year I've done blue and red, so I'm liking it. I usually do yellow and blue and make green.
That's what my sister did.
Yellow and blue.
How do you remember that this is the first time you've ever used purple?
I don't know the answer to that. I just know it. I think I would have remembered. Look, it's so pretty. Okay, let's do example B now. All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to sharpen my pencils really quick. And we'll graph the next two. Somebody tell me, what's the y-intercept for the second inequality?
0.
How do you know?
Because there's no way.
Because there's not a number there. So that tells us that 0 is our y-intercept.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the first one, I've got my y-intercept at -2. And my slope is -4. So I go down 4, forward 3. Is it a solid line or a dashed line? For this one. Oh, is my y-intercept is +2. What am I doing? Lily, your eyes were like, why did she put that there? +2. So I go down 4, forward 3. And then I'm going to do my dashed line here.
Oh, that's supposed to be that.
All right, and then we know that our blue one is going to be the y-intercept is 0, up 1 over 5. Is that going to be a solid line or a dashed line? Solid, good. So we've got our lines accurate. Now we have to figure out which way to shade. Awesome. Do you have Venmo? You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get back, let me know. Okay. All right. So is 0 less than 2? It sure is. So I'm going to shade this way because then I know that 0, 0 works for my red.
Why do you shade it that way?
Because when I put 0 in for y and then 0 in for x, so really this just cancels this out because -4/3 times 0. So I get 0 is less than 2, which it is. So that tells me that the ordered pair 0, 0 is part of the solution for that inequality. So the origin would work. So I have to shade towards the origin. Is that? So what we're doing is we're taking, okay, so I'm going to write this out a little bit here. So I'm trying to test this ordered pair 0, 0. It doesn't help that it's on this blue point, but just pretend it has nothing to do with the blue line. Because we want it, if I test 0, 0, if it works, I shade toward it. If it doesn't work, I shade away from it. And zeros are just easy to do math with, right? So my ordered pair is 0, 0. So 0 less than negative 4/3 times 0 plus 2. Because remember, these systems are trying to tell us what ordered pairs will or won't work. So if I put 0 in here, once I solve this, further, I get 0 is less than 2, which is true. So I know if I put 0, 0 in for this, it's going to work, which I can shade towards it. And then for the next one, if I put 0 in, I get 0 greater than or equal to 0 is also true.
Oh, wait. It's on the 0.
Yeah,
so
how can
wait.
you shade towards 0?
Well,
Just plug in one.
oh yeah, this is one of the ones where we can't use 0, 0. You're right. We do have to use a different ordered pair. Choose a different ordered pair. So who said 1, 1? Yep, perfect. We will try 1, 1. So is 1 greater than or equal to 1/5? It sure is. So I'm going to shade towards 1, 1, which happens to be above the line. So I'm going to shade this way. So then I can see the shaded part. It's double shaded, my purple region, and go over it a little bit. So it really stands out. Okay. So because 0 was on the line, we had to try that other point. Not so bad, right? All right, let's turn the page. Okay, what do you notice about these inequalities? The first one definitely isn't, and the second one needs to be fixed, right? So the first one we have to rewrite, so let's put it up here, 3x minus 3y is less than 3. So we definitely need to fix this one. So somebody tell me, how am I going to rearrange this so that it's in slope-intercept form? I'm going to subtract 3x. So now I have negative 3y is less than negative 3x plus 3. Remember, we sneak it up there so it's in slope-intercept form. And then I have to divide by negative 3. What happens when you divide by a negative for an inequality? So now I have y is greater than x minus 1. Because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, right? So we can go ahead and graph that one. So I've got negative 1. I've got a slope of 1, so up 1 over 1. Oops, it was supposed to be dashed. Guys, I cannot get it together today. You guys probably dashed it, right? Because you're smart. Sure. Okay. Do you guys remember those markers that, like, you could mark on it and then there was like an invisible one and you would go over it and you could like erase it, or it would change it color?
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Like you could color with blue, and then if you used the special marker in the pack and you went over it, it would make the blue into like green or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone sent it all one.
You remember those?
Oh.
So not the color wonder
There
that.
was also like the coloring books where they were like blank, and then when you would paint on them, it would like you didn't have to switch colors. It would like already be in like the right spot. Like
Yes.
You would like, or those like invisible pens that you would get at the book fair.
Okay, funny story about invisible pens. My son begged to get one, right? So I sent him in with $3 to get an invisible pen.
I got one every year.
Well, then he comes home and then of course Riley wants one too. So, Mom, can I get one for Riley and my friend? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I let him go get one for Riley and one for his friend because, I mean, it is what it is. Well, then he comes back and he's like, Mom, I lost the first one that was mine. Can I have another one? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But he's like obsessed with these invisible.
He's gonna put them in his locker. Right. He's just gonna sell them.
So then, like 2 weeks later, he's like, Mom, good news. I found the other one. So you didn't really waste your money. Now I have two. And I'm like, that's great news, I guess. But yeah, he loves those. Like, and it has a little light on the end, and you can like check what was written. And
Fun fact: those things eventually expire. You can see what's written after like a year.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote on my walls of before we moved. I wrote the most ridiculous stuff in scribble, and if you go in there, it's not like very definitive. Like it doesn't look like a normal pen, but you can definitely see the marking. And what
Fun
it says.
fact. Okay, I look forward to seeing writing on my wall then, because I'm sure my son is doing that.
Me and my friends would always think we were like so cool because we would like pass papers with invisible ink on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the teacher picked it up, the teacher would be like, "What is this?" And we'd be like, "It's just a paper."
Okay, let's
And she would act like she was completely clueless.
like it. Let's look at this one. What do I have to do here to fix this? Divide by -1. I cannot have that negative y there. So again, I have to flip my sign. Y is less than -x plus 5. So my y-intercept is 5. My slope is -1/1. I've got another dashed line, which I'm going to try to remember to do. Okay. All right, so let's shade the red one. If we put 0, 0 in here, is 0 greater than -1?
No.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Yes, it is.
I was thinking.
So I can shade towards the origin, so I'm going to shade all of this.
I was thinking probably one right over.
And if you prefer to like graph and then shade, then graph and shade, that's fine. There's no wrong order to do this. And then the next one is 0 less than 5. So when I put my x's in here, 0 is less than 5. Sure is. So now I'm going to shade all of this. So I've got this, basically half of the page is the shaded parts. All right, we can work on D now. How's everybody doing? Am I going too fast? Is this okay?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So let's look at this first inequality. We have 7y is less than or equal to 2x. So it looks strange, but I really only have one step to put this in a slope-intercept form. Divide by 7. I don't have to flip the sign. Correct. And I don't have a y-intercept, so my y-intercept is just going to be 0, 0. So I don't know what's wrong with this paper, but like I can't make the X darker. It's weird. Okay, so I'm going to plot my y-intercept at 0, 0, up 2 over 7. strange. I sure do. Absolutely. Okay, bye-bye. Avery, you are taken off. When you're, for tomorrow, the assignment and everything, you'll just want to try to get caught up on these notes. It'll be on YouTube, like, as soon as this class is over. So, it'll be at the top of the list. You know how to find it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, top of the playlist. All right. So I'm going to go down 2 and back 7. Another point. Solid or dashed line? Solid. Are you coming back today, or do you think you'll be?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll let the teachers know that you left and you might be back. Just making a break, huh? I'm going to have to use 1, 1 again, right? Because 0 is part of the line. So is 1 less than or equal to 2/7?
No.
It is not. So I'm going to shade away from that.
Was it 0 is greater than or equal to 0?
So we're using 1 this time because 0 is on the line. So that doesn't really help us decide which way to shade. So if 1 is less than or equal to 1. Or excuse me, less than or equal to 2/7. Which is not true, so we shaded away from 1, 1. And then our next one, y minus 5x is less than or equal to 8. This one is a little bit easier to rearrange. Anthony, what am I going to do?
You're gonna add the x to the other side.
Yep. We're going to sneak it up in there so we have y is less than or equal to 5x plus 8. And this is one of those where I can't really go up 5 and over 1 for my slope, so I'm going to go down 5 and back 1. And I have another solid line. And we'll use 0, 0 again. So if we use the order pair 0, 0, 0 is 0 less than or equal to 8. Sure is. So we're going to shade this way. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an ordered pair, and you're going to tell me if it's a solution to the system of inequalities or not. How are you going to know if it's a solution?
It's in the double shade.
It's in the purple area, the double shaded area. Okay, so the ordered pair 5, 6.
No.
Nope, because it's just in the blue. How about -4, -3?
Yes.
No. How about 7, -8?
Yep. Yes.
Yes, because that would be down in this region. Okay. If I go over 7 and down. Yep. Okay, good job. Let's keep moving. Hold on a second. We might skip this one. Let's go to G. Let's skip all the way to G. I just want to make sure we have a time to see all possible situations. Yeah. Let's look at G here. Okay. So let's look at our first inequality. X minus 5 is greater than 3. I need to fix this, so I'm going to add 5 to the other side, and I have x is greater than 8. It is going to be a vertical line. Caleb, gold star for you. So this is going to be a vertical line at 8, and it's going to be a dashed vertical line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to put a dashed vertical line here. And so we can do the same thing. We can put 0 in for our x value. Is 0 greater than 8? Nope. So we're going to shade this way. Just because we don't have a y, you can still use the 0. Okay, I have to fix this. Anthony? I have to divide. Yep, so what do I have to do to my sign? I have to flip it. It's going to be a horizontal line at -7. You guys are on it today. It is going to be dashed because it's not equal to. And again, we can put 0 in for y. Is 0 less than -7?
No.
No. So we're going to shade away. So we have this like teeny tiny corner of solutions. How do you guys feel about this? Good? Pretty confident?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you guys try h by yourself? All by yourself. Woo! Solo mission. I think you can do it. I'm going to freeze my screen so we can try it by ourselves. Of course, if you're at home, you can still see this because I can't freeze this. I can only freeze that screen.
You could like put something over it, like over the thing.
Like this.
Yeah. Just hold her hand above it.
I don't know. We'll just let them follow
It'll
along.
be the honor system. We'll trust them.
We'll be the honor system.
I know if I just say that.
Okay, so go ahead and start working on this. that sounded really painful. That's the worst. Am I around to check your work? No, I've been doing this for a while, so it should be done, right? Good shading. This is your y-intercept actually. And your slope is -7/4, so it's going to be. Okay. Okay. So what you're going to do, so you start at 4 and then you go down 7, back 4, down 7, back 4. Okay. You want to do one?
No.
Okay. Right, cover up your answers. You got roaming eyes.
Well, no, because you said something about back 4.
Well, I was doing it on his paper, so it was like, yeah.
Okay, because I was like, but so I've been wrong for like 2 years.
No, you haven't.
Okay, well, this makes
Oh, so you can just.
So when you're done, check your work. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video for at-home viewers. As always, if you have any questions, email me.